The immortal pen of James Fenimore Cooper brings you thrilling tales of excitement, blazing action on the early American frontier, stirring adventures filled with the daring and courage of Hawkeye, first of the Long Rifles, and his blood brother, Chingachgook, last of the Mohicans.
What is it? Indians.
Where?
There. In the bushes creeping towards us.
Oh, Laura, you're imagining things again.
I didn't this time, Sandy. I saw their head feathers. I did.
I thought the Indians round here were friendly.
Friends sometimes turn hostile. You take this.
Oh, I know I should have stayed at home. Oh, we'll all be killed and scalped. And me with scarce enough hair on my head as it is.
You see them, George?
Yes.
Oh, my sainted aunt.
Follow me.
Oh.
There you are.
Wild cattails.
That was what you mistook for feathers.
Oh.
Come on, let's get back to the horses.
Oh, no, Laura, not Indians again. When will you stop imagining?
Drop that gun.
What's the meaning of this outrage?
I take it your name is Sandy Lee, ma'am.
It is, but how did you know?
And you're figuring on splitting up your land for a parcel of colonists you're bringing here?
Well, what if I am?
You ain't gonna do it, ma'am.
Well, of all the brazen effrontery. And who are you to tell me what I can or can't do with my holdings?
Tim Grogan's the name. And it's not only me that's telling you, but every one of us trappers here.
Well, even wilderness trappers should have better manners than to speak to a lady in that fashion.
You keep your mouth shut, young'un. We're the ones that settled this country at the risk of our lives. Tamed the wild, Redskin. And we're not gonna be pushed out by anybody.
Whether you trappers leave or not is entirely your own affair. But this is my land, through patent grant from the Crown to my late father, and I'll do with it as I please.
Grant or no grant, you and the others are heading back where you come from.
I won't have you speaking to Mistress Lee that way, Grogan.
That won't be necessary, Grogan. It seems to me you're being uncommon high-handed, ordering an owner off her land.
It's just as much our land.
You're mad.
We trappers fought to make it safe. Our dead are buried here. And no scrap of paper's gonna take it away from us.
As squatters, it was never yours to lose. I think you'd better get your men and clear out of here.
Stop! Fair fight! Stop that! Don't touch!
I don't think he'll be interested in hanging around here any longer. Take him with you.
We owe you our deepest thanks, sir.
You owe us nothing, ma'am. Glad we could be of service to you.
Oh, what on earth is the matter with you now?
That Indian, he keeps looking at me. He wants to scalp.
Oh, stop it, you silly goose, stop it. My companion, she's very frightened of Indians.
Why, she has nothing to fear from Chingachgook.
Chingachgook? Isn't that the name of the last chief of the Mohicans? It's a privilege to know you. And you, sir. My name is George Washington.
Folks around here call me Hawkeye.
This is Mistress Sanda Lee and her companion, Mistress Laura Dodson.
Howdy, ma'am. It's a pleasure, ma'am. You don't mind my asking, what's a party like yours doing out here alone, even if you do own the land?
Well, I'm surveying the property for Mistress Lee, getting ready to open up the homesteads for the colonists still coming in.
In time short, Mr. Hawkeye. The first group are arriving in a very few days.
Time stop. If White Trapper go on warpath.
Are we really in any danger?
You saw 'em, ma'am. Those trappers are in an ugly mood.
Well, they shan't frighten me. I came here to partition my land, and I will.
White squaw speak brave words, but wise fox seek shelter if storm break.
Chingachgook is right, Sandy. You and Laura can't stay out here in the wilderness unprotected.
I'd take Mr. Washington's advice, Mistress Lee. There's a settlement not far from here, Carytown.
A good idea. I can complete the survey while you and Laura rest at Carytown.
Grogan and his men are coming back into town.
Be interesting to hear what they have to report.
Slick as a whistle the way you got Grogan all steamed up again that Lee female, saying she'd force him and the other trappers to clear out.
There's nothing like having a cat's paw to pull your chestnuts out of the fire, Chris.
Go wrong, Grogan? Hawkeye. Just popped right out of the woods. Him and that Indian partner of his.
I'm a little surprised at you, Grogan. I thought you trappers had stronger metal than that. Of course, if you want the settlers moving in and taking over your trapping territory...
No, you know, we don't want that, Mr. Brent. And we'll go to shooting if we have to.
But you're afraid of Hawkeye, is that it?
Not of him. Or of no man.
Grogan, you know my loyalty is on the trapper's side, and I'm going to help you. Now, just don't look around and play up no matter what I say or do.
Well, I want to have you horsewhipped, Grogan. Now, clear out of my settlement before I have you and the other trappers thrown into the lockup. Now, look, here, Mr. Brent, you can't talk to me like that.
I can, and I will, and another thing, make any more trouble, and I'll see you trappers starve before I buy any furs.
Mr. Brent, my deepest thanks, sir, for what you just said. I'm Sandy Lee.
Your servant, ma'am, and my regrets that I was unable to help. I only learned now what those stupid fools tried to do. Rest assured, however, it won't happen again.
You're very kind, sir.
Not at all.
There's room for everybody in this new land. And I'd deem it an honor, ma'am, if you'd accept my help in settling your colonists.
With thanks, Mr. Brent.
Just looking ahead to the future. You'll headquarter here, of course, at the inn. Allow me to be your escort, ma'am.
Oh, you'll be joining us here, won't you?
Never could get used to resting my head on linen at night, ma'am. But Chingachgook and I'll be around if you need us.
Well, thank you again for everything.
Tain't Hawkeye and Chingachgook. I'll be here.
Oh, terrible, Toby, terrible.
I hope you don't mind us talking while I keep on working. Promised I'd have this rifle fixed come nightfall.
No, I don't mind at all. What can you tell me about Calhoun Brent?
Brent? Well, now, he practically owns the settlement, lays down the laws, has his own lockup.
And gives orders to the trappers, too?
Nice gun, this.
Come on, Toby, loosen up.
We gotta look at that Mistress Lee. Nice gal.
You speak with slippery tongue. You afraid of Brent?
Me? You bet. That's why I ain't saying a word about me hearing he got Grogan and the trappers all riled up over something last night. Not a word.
Mm-mm.
Also, I ain't saying nothing about him declaring that once colonists moved in here, the trappers would have to move out. Nope. I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Well, sorry you couldn't give us any information, Toby.
Me too.
See ya.
Yep. See ya.
Where have you been?
I've been checking up on Hawkeye. I don't think you fooled him one bit by play acting with Grogan.
Oh, why is that?
He's been strolling around the settlement asking questions.
About what?
You and the trappers.
Uh-huh.
Is that all you got to say?
A bullet will do all the talking if need be. I didn't build up this fur trading empire to have it ruined by settlers.
You want me to make certain by taking care of that Lee female?
I don't think that'll be necessary. I might persuade her to join me here when the Crown revokes her land settlement grant.
Huh?
She tells me that the land has to be colonized before this winter. Failure to do so means loss of the land.
Then all we gotta do is send them colonists back to where they came from before they reach here.
A runner just brought in word, Mr. Brent. The first 2 wagons of settlers are going to reach the territory before nightfall.
Does the town know about this?
No, he was one of our men. He came straight to me.
Good. Tell him to keep his mouth shut.
Where are you going?
Why, I thought I'd escort Mistress Lee and her companions out for a ride. I think it's time they got to know some of the country around here.
But what about those settlers?
Oh, those? I thought I'd leave that up to your judgment, Grogan. Yours and Chris's. All I ask is that they don't stay in the territory alive.
You think Brent behind all this?
Everything we've learned points that way.
But why?
Well, he's got all the business from all the trappers in this whole territory. He's getting rich on it. A new settlement would put a stop to that.
Well, what we do about Brent?
First thing we better do is tell Washington and the ladies what we've learned. As long as he doesn't pull the wool over their eyes, we've still got a chance.
You amaze me, Miss Lee,
I do? How so?
that a girl of your breeding and quality should concern herself with colonization.
Oh, it was my father's dream. A dream he willed to me along with his patent grant. Just think of it. All this beautiful, fertile land will soon provide farms for simple people who ask nothing more than soil to till and the right to worship as they please.
And Providence willing, they'll find a haven here. Must be an attack by some Indians somewhere. We better head back to the settlement.
Them settlers won't be back in a hurry.
Watch him.
Before we came, you said the Injuns here were peaceful, ma'am.
But they are.
Them Arabs say different. We want no part of them. We're heading back.
But you can't. Think what it'll do to the other colonists.
Well, they'll turn back, too. That's for certain.
Oh, but please.
We're beholden to you, ma'am, for trying to help us, but there ain't no amount of land worth getting scalped for.
We better be heading back, Miss Lee.
I thought you were back at the settlement.
When we learned that you'd come out here, we figured to join you. That's lucky we did.
Who are these men?
These are the Indians that scared off your colonists.
So you're in this too, eh, Chris? Who put you up to it? Those trappers?
That wasn't necessary, Brent. Why does it have to be the trappers?
Isn't it obvious they're to blame?
Maybe Chris has something to say about that.
Well, I'm going to jail anyway. All right. It's Tim Grogan and the trappers.
Hawkeye, glad you joined me. Care for some refreshment of some kind?
Oh, no thanks, Brent. Just wondered how you made out with Grogan and the trappers.
They're in the jailhouse, quiet and peaceful, waiting trial. Kind of like locking the barn door after the horse is stolen, though.
Oh, why's that?
Well, those colonists that Miss Lee needs to settle the territory, I don't imagine they'll be too eager to return now.
She doesn't have to worry about that anymore.
Oh, why is that?
Why, haven't you heard the news? There's 2 more wagon loads of them on the way.
Is that so?
That's what I heard. And with Grogan and the others in jail, they won't run into any trouble.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm delighted to hear it. I think I'll go right over now and congratulate Miss Lee.
Yeah, I knew you'd be glad to hear about it, Brent.
I ought to kill you for this. Dry up. It was either you or Brent. I had to get Hawkeye off his trail.
I hadn't figured on nothing like this. Me and the other trappers figured Brent was our friend. Now he's turning against us.
You're a smart one, you are. He was never with you. Brent looks after himself, and real good, too.
There's work to be done, lads.
What now?
More colonists coming. They didn't learn their lesson the first time. This time I want them wiped out, everyone.
That ain't for me. I don't hold with murder. Not for all the furs in the country.
You'll hold still for more than you know, Grogan. ammunition and horses are outside. Take him with you. I want him left at the wagons as proof who is behind the massacre.
Did everything work out as we planned?
Better. Brent's going to lead the party himself.
Let's show Paleface who tried to kill them.
It'll be all the proof any court of law will need.
What about that settler Turner and his wagons?
Me take care.
Good. Let's not keep him waiting.
This is far enough. Let's drop him here.
All right, Brent.
Well, almost finished here now. The rest of your colonials can start moving in any day now, Sandy.
Good. And there's nothing I'd like more than for you and Chingachgook to be the first to homestead.
Well, thanks for asking us, ma'am. But we'll leave the settling down to others. We'd better be moving on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll miss you.
I will, too. I hope our paths will cross again.
We'll be hearing of each other again, George. It's been a pleasure, ma'am.
I'll never forget you, Hawkeye.
Goodbye.
I just wanted to thank you.
What's the matter?
Hawkeye, maybe someday I take Squaw.
Come on.
Join us again at this same time next week for another of James Fenimore Cooper's gripping tales of the early American frontier. Another exciting adventure of Hawkeye and his blood brother, Chingachgook, last of the Mohicans.